The rumor mill was swirling at the NFL Combine. We'll give you the latest news regarding the Cowboys next.
You are Locked On Cowboys, your daily Dallas Cowboys podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On Cowboys podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We'd like to thank you for making us the #1 sports podcast network. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with college basketball parlay profit boost. Head over to FanDuel.com to get started. Welcome back. I am your host, Marcus Mosher. He is Landon McCool. And Landon, we are talking about NFL rumors, really Cowboy rumors. And let's start with this one about Nakobe Dean, a free agent linebacker from Philadelphia. Easy to connect the dots here with him playing under Christian Parker. There has been multiple people now that believe the Cowboys will pursue Dean at the start of free agency. Are you buying it?
First of all, we have to recognize your funny pun because connecting the dots, he's going to wear the green dot if he comes here. There's something there. I'm maybe reaching, but yes, I do think again, like I think these kind of moves absolutely make sense. Now the price has got to be right? Obviously, that's the case here. There's a history of injury with Nakobe Dean, so there is some buyer beware that we need to be careful here, and not necessarily a full ringing endorsement, but again, just generally speaking, these sort of like play caller, glue guys who can help kind of, transplant Christian Parker's brain into this Cowboys defense. I think it makes a ton of sense to bring guys like this in. So I think if the price is not outrageous, we'll see if Philly is going to work hard to try to get him back. It doesn't sound like they are because they have a lot of other guys that they kind of have to work. And so,
we should also mention they have Zach Bond, who they gave a big contract to, and they drafted Jihad Campbell in round one last year. They probably can't afford to pay another linebacker. And honestly, it probably Nakobe Dean wants to go somewhere where he can play.
Yeah. So I think Campbell was supposed to be basically his replacement. So again, because of injury issues. So it makes sense, but I think there's some particulars to work out there. But I wouldn't be shocked if that's the linebacker solution that the Cowboys angled towards.
It makes the most sense, right? I mean, obviously the Christian Parker thing is easy, but I don't think they're going to be in the market for Devin Lloyd, who is expected to get anywhere between 16 to 20 million in free agency. The Cowboys have never spent that much money on a player. I don't see them going to do it now. And even someone like Devin Bush, I don't see that being a fit either because he's expected to get, similar money from Cleveland. Nakobe Dean is kind of that next level down. You've got some concerns about him being able to take on blocks and all that kind of stuff. But if you got these defensive tackles in front of you, I think he makes a lot of sense. The number is going to be the key part here, but I do wonder, Nakobe Dean, DeMarvion, Overshown, Shemar James as your three linebackers. It's not the best unit in the world, but you feel pretty good about it going into draft weekend at least.
Yeah, and again, somebody who knows the defense that you're moving into, who understands it, can get everybody lined up at least correctly. So, and a defense in a new year with the complicated defense, I think that's an important thing. That's why a move like this will make some sense. And he's a good player, especially moving forward. Obviously, there's some limitations. There wouldn't be limitations if he wasn't a free agent, right? So. I think it makes sense that you just have to go into that open-eyed and understand, hey, this is a guy with an injury history. He's an imperfect player, obviously, but if you can find a system that he's worked well in, he can help your other players learn that system as well. I think there could be a mutually beneficial situation for the Cowboys in Nakobe Dean here.
This isn't like Kenneth Murray, where you're gambling on an athlete and you believe that his, this scheme is going to turn him into a good player. Like Nakobe Dean has been a good player. The concern here is the health, right? But it seems like he's healthy now. I always get nervous about paying linebackers because these guys are beat up, and linebackers that come from Alabama and Georgia are really beat up. Yeah. But again, he's a really good fit in this defense.
Yeah, he's been playing it since he was in college. Again, a lot of these Georgia guys, part of the reason the Philadelphia drafted a lot of these Georgia guys is because Georgia runs a very similar defense to what they're going to run. The kind of gap and a half defense that up front, especially that they're used to running. So guys like Dean have experience doing this, and they can at the very least be a sounding board for the folks that are trying to learn how to.
All right, let's talk about Jerry Jones, who was speaking to reporters in his tour bus. I don't, what do you want to call that thing that he's in now? Media bus? I don't know. Do we believe some of the offseason chatter regarding George Pickens, Brandon Aubrey, and their plans in free agency? We'll get to that next. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. College basketball is nonstop, big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every single night. From early tip-offs to late night West Coast shootouts, there's something always to bet on right now on FanDuel. And FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into an even bigger payout with a college basketball parlay profit boost. You can build any college hoops parlay that you want with rivalry games, ranked matchups, and whatever fits your read. And you can mix spreads, totals, and player props to match how you see the slate playing out. So go safe, go bold, ride with your team that you've been following all season. It's your parlay, your style, now with more upside behind it. Head over to FanDuel.com to get started. That is FanDuel.com. FanDuel, play your game. Workplace chaos, deadline stacking up, inbox overflowing, and the one position that you have to fill is still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Indeed sponsored jobs helps you reach the people who actually fit what you're looking for: skills, experience, location. So you're not just hoping that the right candidate stumbles across your post. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all of your boxes with Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status that it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. This episode is brought to you by Game Time. We live in a world where you can stream anything and everything, order food minutes, and carry supercomputers in our pockets. And somehow buying tickets to a live game still feels complicated between hidden fees, jumping prices, and endless steps. There has to be a better way. And there is. And it's why I use the Game Time app. It gives the advantage back to the fans. It makes getting tickets simple, whether it's NFL games, concerts, comedy events, whatever you're into. I was actually just looking at some tickets for a hockey game that's coming up. I'd like to go see the Pens play here fairly soon. And it's unbelievable, the deals that they have right now. But my favorite part is that the price you see includes the fees. So there's no surprise fees at checkout. And you can even spot zone deals where you pick the section and Game Time picks the seats for extra savings. 2 taps and you have great seats locked in, fast, easy, and done. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem promo code LOCKEDON for $20 off, and download Game Time today. To the Locked On Cowboys podcast, we'd like to thank you for making us your first listen every single day. Lena, let's talk about Jerry Jones, who spoke with the media. I believe it was on late Friday night. And he is talking about how the Cowboys are going to keep George Pickens. They're going to get Aubrey signed to a new deal. They're going to be more aggressive in free agency. Do you believe him after the fiasco that was the 2025 offseason?
I don't know, man. Like, look, I'm going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe again, I'm sure. But it's like, he seems different. Like, I mean, you listen to him talk and it's not even just those things that you said. It's like really taking responsibility for not doing things like correctly, and like was talking specifically about feeling like, man, we didn't handle the Jordan Lewis situation right, and just seeming like it's felt like in the years past he's been very confrontational, and now he's feeling more contrite. And so to me, I do wonder, is this just the next act of the Jerry ring circus? Who knows? Or is this a guy who's gotten a little bit older and been a little bit starting to be a little bit more reflective in what his legacy is, and wants to kind of wants to truly change the narrative? Because obviously we've seen him talk about wanting to change the narrative around him, but I haven't really seen the actions behind it. We'll see what happens, come free agency. But he sounds different. That much I think sounds true to me.
I think it's a time thing. Like, I think he knows, first of all, I mean, he's 83 years old. He's going to be 84 in October. He probably knows the clock is running out a little bit here. Not to be morbid, but just be honest, right? There's also a part of this window with the Cowboys that we keep talking about. Like, they are in, I know it sounds weird to say they are in a championship window right now after a 7-9-1 season, but you're looking at a team that's got Dak Prescott, 3 years left on his deal. He's in his early 30s now. You've got CeeDee Lamb in the prime of his career. You've got George Pickens in the prime of his career. Your offensive line outside of Terrence Steele is, I think, they're all 25 or under. 3 of them are still on rookie contracts. Like, it's time right now to go out and be aggressive. Now, I think the other part of this is I think they're going to be more aggressive this offseason than they've been in previous offseason. That's also not a high bar to clear, right? No. They could sign 2 free agents at $7 million, and it would be the most aggressive free agency period they've had in decades, right? So I think you need to remember that as well. Don't expect, like, if they sign Nakobe Dean, that will be their one big ticket free agent. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly we'll see, because it's certainly, you're certainly right that that's all it would take just to clear the bar of most crazy spending for a Cowboys offseason, for sure.
Well, I think Dante Fowler last year was their biggest free agent signing in like 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, and we were shocked. Remember at the time, like, we were like, wow, I can't believe they spent on it. So I agree. Like, I think that, is he operating different? It feels like that could be true. What does that actually mean in reality and scale? I think that's what we still have yet to determine.
All right, that is it for today's show. We'd like to thank you for making Locked On Cowboys your first listen every single day. If you never miss an episode, the Everydayer Club is built for you. Get Locked On Cowboys ad-free plus members-only Discord access and so much more. Head over to LockedOnCowboys.com, LockedOnCowboys.supercast.com to join the club. And for those of you on video, we can send you the first ever 24/7 national NBA YouTube channel. And on audio, make your second listen the Locked On NFL Draft podcast. Follow Landon on Twitter at McCoolBCB. I'm at Marcus_Mosher, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.